do is you go to a campaign or you buy a plate for an event. Either you go to the event or you buy the plate for the event. That's the first step you do, is to get your name out there that, hey, listen, I'm here. I want to be a part of this. I want to donate to you guys. I want to be at your events. That's the best way to do it without having to knock on doors.
Ready, win.
Good morning, Yonkers. I'm Freddie Bastard. This morning, I want to talk about the Hector Santiago incident. That audio you heard there is just a clip from audio recording that I have obtained in regards to how city jobs are secured here in the city of Yonkers. I'm Freddie Vasquez, folks. Thank you for joining me this morning. Good morning, folks. I hope you are having a beautiful and blessed Monday. I know that I am. Mr. Hector Santiago, the man that you see there, is a community activist. Been in the community doing a lot for a long time. He's received a lot of proclamations, as you'll hear him in a minute. Unfortunately, all the work that he's done in the community, including the program that he created, Stop and Shake, which seeks to foster great community relations with the police department. That's the whole goal of that program, right? And he has been heavily supported by the Yonkers police as well as elected officials. So what the hell went wrong? How did he end up in the middle of a brawl? How did he end up getting arrested? How did he end up with bruising to his arms? How did we get to this video that I'm going to show some clips of? Folks, it was a crazy and wild night, and it was instigated by our elected officials. They triggered it. As soon as they began to speak, all hell broke loose. And it's very interesting that we spoke, and I mean we the people, went up there, spoke against it. Nothing happened. The minute our elected officials spoke, Hector Santiago is getting removed from the gallery, from the chambers, and he would be arrested. Let's hear what he had to say on this video. If you didn't watch it, if you did, let's go over it again. And let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. So I want to start by saying that I'm not okay. And that's okay. What happened was horrible. It was a violation of my civil rights, my human rights, and just all the work I've done in this community. At that moment, I was no longer the founder of Stop and Shake. I was no longer a human rights commissioner. I was just another Latino from the community. And so it really hurts. I've dedicated 8 years of my life building relationships. And I think one thing that's really been hurting me is the amount of people that have been calling who are just not even non-political, sharing like, yo, if they did this to you, Stop and Shake, what they gonna do to us? And that right there, man, and that is such a reality for us in our community. So yeah, my fault to my community who had to witness that violence. You know, we worked so
Unfortunately, that's the loudest I can go. The video was low.
hard not to deal with that. So I definitely appreciate all the feedback, all the support. It's so whack. It was politically motivated policing. I was there for a total of 23 minutes. There was so much abuse that went on in that room. You know, abuse is genderless. And I want people to really think about that. Abuse is genderless. And the way women were screaming at each other and other men were screaming at each other in that room, It's sad, you know. I'm not okay. My community's not okay. What everyone saw in that video of that council meeting was not okay. Emotional intelligence. I am just like, I just can't. It is crazy what we watched. I was assaulted. I just want to show everybody real quick. So prior to me going to the, I'm gonna take a step back. I just wanted to let.
So I wanted to talk about that. So he, he's obviously visibly emotional. He said he was assaulted, and I'm imagining this happened outside. I did see, the initial thing, and I played the video, so I'm not going to go show that again. But I know he was there. He said he was there for 22 minutes, and then something happened. It wasn't very clear. I watched the video. It didn't really state the specific details of what actually happened. How did it all even start? But I know that, Tasha Diaz, she was going in. She was calling people beggars, members of the Yonkers Sanctuary Movement beggars. And she was saying how they're going to be, right there after that day. And after this is all over, begging some more, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden we hear a ruckus. And then a bunch of individuals get up. Hector Santiago is, very visible because he's the guy with the sling, right? He's the one dude that has one arm. And so he, is being grabbed on by an officer trying to pull him. He's falling back into the seating area. And then an officer comes up, one who many people, including myself, are familiar with and have said that he is a good officer, great police officer. And I will say that definitely I will vouch for that myself. He actually says, hey, come with me. He pulls out, Hector Santiago. And then something happened in the hallway. I guess there's no video of it. I don't know. There was no body cams, nothing. But apparently he was assaulted by a New Rochelle police officer who is the individual that arrested him. But they're claiming that he assaulted a police officer. So the details I'm not too clear of. He didn't really give, a lot of the details of what happened in the hallway. And I'm assuming maybe he's speaking to attorneys. They advised him not to. But I want to move on and show another piece of the video here and discuss this. And I'm sorry about the level. It was just slow to begin with. It's not a whole lot I could do there about it. Oh, that's not even.
I could record it for both of our safety. And he agreed that I could record it for both of our safety. I'm not going to.
Actually, I'm going to play this one in afterward. Let me play this other one because I want to play something along with that. Mute.
42 proclamations, awarded certificates from all the way from governors to local community council, mayors. None of it mattered. The 22 minutes I was there, I was just another Latino from the block. And on people, man, don't let them, and to all the bloggers,
He goes on to say to all the bloggers, don't let them divide you. They try to divide you. And I agree with that. That's exactly what they're doing. That's why you see that guy John now posting stuff about me. You see that I shared a picture of him. He's obviously in conversations with Frankie Jerris, the son of Zahi Jerris, the great divider, the guy that's behind elected officials like Tasha Diaz and her good friend, the city council president. That's right. Zahi Jerris is behind these individuals, and that's what they did here. They caused division. They wanted people to see Tasha Diaz go crazy. They wanted Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy, the city council president, to start off with a, story of, a tragedy. It's a similar play that they obviously run. You saw the video yesterday with Mike Spano in 2011 as he started a debate talking about his mom. It's the sympathy vote. Right. So she started with that before attacking people that she had issues with. Right. And then Tasha Diaz goes off and starts calling people beggars. And he ends up, in some melee. And it was crazy. And so he says 42 proclamations that I've received. And this still happened to me. Well, I'm glad he said that because I've been saying this. I don't want no damn proclamation. Don't give me none of that. Don't give me no awards. Let's see action. right? And I see these pictures they post up. Oh, I'm giving this guy a proclamation, this business owner a proclamation. For what? And what do they represent? At the end of the day, does it really matter? Obviously, you can get 42 proclamations and still end up with bruising after being removed from a city council meeting here in the city of Yonkers. You can be the guy that starts a program, Stop and Shake, that's supported and funded and promoted and touted on by elected officials, a program that's supposed to create good relationship with the community and the police. Yet you can still end up in jail with bruising on your arms after being pulled out of a meeting because you are against term limit extension. Hector Santiago supported people like Tasha Diaz. So what happened there? Why didn't the majority leader stand up and see what was going on and go over and support Hector in the manner that he has supported her? I mean, he has truly gone all out for Tasha Diaz at one point. And see how easily they forget. And this is what I want people to see and understand. And I'm sorry that happened to you, Hector. I really am. And I'm hoping that this can further unite the community. And together we can be a stronger force for change. For change, we have to. So I want to show a little bit more here of Hector Santiago. I think it's important, some of the things that he's saying here.
Insurgency, that room was not Yonkers. That room was not our community. Wake up. They're planning meetings a week apart. Half of my community, there's a digital divide. Half of my community don't have internet. And all the stuff they want to do is via email, via internet, via Facebook. What about knocking on people's door and inviting them to meetings the same way they want you to vote for them? This is not Yonkers. December 2nd, 5 p.m. This is your house. This is your.
So it's very important what he said there. He said that they are having these meetings or meeting prior to these meetings that they hold to discuss how things are going to go. It's all pre-planned. It's all staged. That's exactly what he's saying there. He's also encouraging us to come out on December 2nd, which I think everyone should come out because a lot of people are against this. But he's telling you right there what I've been saying on my podcast. This is all planned. They have colluded together and have been colluding for a while, a very long while. They knew that this was coming, this term extension vote. They all did, and they all pretended not to know. They ignored questions when asked, and those who did answer would say, I haven't heard anything about it. As you can see by text messages that I've posted with the city clerk, he was sure the mayor was going to be running for re-election as early as October 21st. Well, the city council president had not introduced the proposition to extend or the legislation to extend term limits until November 10th. So this was planned. They had this well strategized. And so what else is staged here in the city of Yonkers? COY still hasn't posted Friday's meeting on their page. Right. They don't give people enough time. And this is another great point that he brought up that I'm going to touch on also. They want to do everything online. But however, they themselves know that a lot of people do not have access to internet. They talked about it all throughout the pandemic. They said we need to get more access to people. They don't have access. They don't have devices to even log on to the internet. So how are they going to then decide and vote on doing things more via the internet, via online? I mean, recently they had a meeting where they voted on doing more meetings and more communications via the internet, Zoom, and things like that. Which is why I said then, why do they need the cars? Even more reason why they should give up the cars. If you're going to do a lot more stuff via Zoom, like meetings and informing the people through the internet, and through Yonkers Tribune, when most people don't even go on there, or even through the Newswire, or maybe the Yonkers Voice, or the Yonkers Times. Not everybody reads that. A large segment of the city of Yonkers are not in tune or reading or into Yonkers Times, Yonkers Tribunes, these same news outlets, quote unquote, that they put out these announcements on. They paid them to put these announcements on. But if you look at them and when they put the announcements on, because everything is dated, it's usually 3 days before the actual meeting. That's not enough time to inform people on these important meetings. And so I went on the Yonkers Tribune and I noticed that he posts them literally 3 days before it happens. And he's done that with every single meeting. And so not only is he not giving people enough notice, he's also not reaching everybody in the city of Yonkers, especially a large demographic like the Latino population and the Blacks, who together make up, what, 60% of the population? 63? And that's purposely done. And so in my opinion, that is why they have 4 Black women on the council. So they can do these things where they're purposely targeting minority population, excluding them, outing them from the city. And so ultimately it will fall upon the 4 Black women. And look at the chaos and the embarrassment that was displayed on Tuesday. Who were the ones that were involved? The Black women. Latino men. Who were the ones that were arrested? A Latino man. A Latino man who is very well known by everyone up in that room. And so how does that happen? You're welcome, Danny. I appreciate it. And Danny, listen, I apologize. I got a lot going on. But if you want to do that on Thursday, let me know. Just email me. We'll definitely get that together. I've been saying it's all staged from jump. They knew how they were going to vote. Diaz incited that fight 1,000%. And that was a distraction from what is actually important. The fact that they took it upon themselves to extend terms another time. 2 terms now that they have extended. Something that the people have voted on twice not to do. And they could care less. I mean, they brought up people that have interest, like Teresa, the woman who spoke, who is the godmother of Brenton Bullock, who is also the chairperson of the Human Rights Committee, which is the committee that Hector Santiago himself is on. He's on the Yonkers Human Rights Committee, and this is what happens to him. Or what about the young lady who spoke, the college student, the 19-year-old college student who is tied to Yonkers through generations of people? And she's seen the progress, including Lionsgate and the beautification in parks and everything else that the mayor has done that's terrific. Well, she didn't attend Yonkers public schools. She's a classmate of the mayor's daughter. They attended a private school together. No wonder she spoke so eloquently, because she didn't go through the Yonkers public school. Not to diss the kids there, but hey, let's just be honest. They're not getting the same education that these private schools are providing, and that is why our elected officials send them there. And so the few who are minorities, who are people of color, who are able to get in, they don't care. They just get theirs. As long as their kids get to go to the private schools, the Stepanaks. So, Hector, I told you this. They use you. They're going to use you. And I'm sorry that this happened. And I hope that this can bring us together, because I'm not against you, brother. I'm on your side. And it pisses me off that you had this happen to you. It does. And it's unfortunate. Interesting that the chaos happened at the televised meeting on Tuesday, but not at the Monday public hearing at the library, which did not air on Channel 78. Yes, they wanted people to see that. They wanted people to see that display of trashness. Sorry. It was just trash. You don't call constituents beggars, Tasha. You just do not do that. Not when you yourself is from the community. You yourself are receiving assistance in many ways. Many ways. You don't think they look at you like beggars? And I'm talking about your handlers, Zahi Jarris, Nick Spano. Yeah, I know you guys took that nice picture. You look lovely, face all powdered up. But you a beggar to them. And never forget that. And that's what I'm trying to say. And going back again to the little black puppet comment, that's my point. I've been there, done that. I've seen it. You guys are entering something that I've been through already. And I don't mean in politics, I mean in business. Okay? I've seen it. They're using you. This is what people do. This is what very rich people do a lot of times. They utilize people. Everyone's a piece on the chessboard to them. And so don't be used, especially in that manner. Right? You're being used against your own people and against the people of the city of Yonkers in general. And you don't care. And that's not okay. That's not okay. So I want to play something else that Hector said that I think is extremely important. But let me see what he says here.
Again, I want to give a shout out to everybody who made the phone calls. I want to give a shout out to Donnell, my brother.
I believe that's the individual that was in the gray sweatsuit with the black hat. I think he tried to help him out. So I want to play this part also here because I think this is important. Then I'm going to play a video and then I'm going to get up out of here. This is what listen to what he says. He got a call from somebody and this is what the person said. He's a city employee, someone who spoke at the meeting. Is this it? No.
CPCOS it was, but he called to apologize over what happened to me. He was in the room, and he said his department head signed him up to speak. He don't care about politics. He needs his job. And if we look at the room, there was nothing but city workers. That is not okay, people. My people had no time to inform our community about that meeting. And then the leaders that did go got abused, got insulted. I was there for 22 minutes. I know everyone in the room. I am not okay.
So again, the point the really thing I want to highlight there is that he said he received a call from somebody who was there. Works for the city, and he called to apologize. And he said, I'm sorry, and that department head signed me up to speak. A department head signed me up to speak. This is not Freddie Vasquez just making things up. I'm not just putting things out there. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't even like the fact that I'm doing this podcast. I had a conversation with somebody. In fact, this is not who I am. I'm not cut from this cloth where I talk about this. I'm not into gossiping. I'm not into putting text messages out. It's not what I do. But unfortunately, this is politics. Politics is something I've never, ever had to deal with. And in politics, we must be transparent. And in order to fight corruption in politics, we have to put the information out. We have to speak the truth. And he spoke the truth. And I've been speaking truth. And he's validated me. Department heads actually signed up people. Now, I knew there were messages going out, text messages, but he is saying here that department heads signed up people to speak. People who do not care about politics, who did not want to be there, but they care about their job. They need that job. They want that job. And that's not okay. That's not okay. Yeah, well, I'll definitely talk about that offline. That's not okay. What happened to Hector could have happened to any one of us. Unfortunately, he was the one that went to the meeting. Yeah, I was there too, honestly, and I left because like I said, I'm from the streets, and you develop an instinct when you're from the street. It's a survival instinct, right? And you understand your surroundings. And everywhere I go, first thing I do is I look at my surroundings. I find out where the exit doors, even in movie theaters, right? You want to know where the exits is, where you're going to go. I don't know, just my mind works that way. And so I didn't feel comfortable there. I'll be honest. And I said, I'm going to get up out of here. This doesn't look right. Yeah, you see what happened? My instincts, once again, Once again, we're correct. So he says that DPW, oh, I'm sorry, scratch that. He didn't say DPW. He said employee, somebody who worked there, said a department head. Could have been, I don't know who, right? But it was someone that worked for the city of Yonkers. Their department head signed them up to speak in support of this term extension. They didn't want to do it. They don't even care about politics. They just care about their jobs. So I want to play audio that I got, something that I put up in the very beginning. This is of a employee speaking to another man who's looking to get a job. And so I want to play this. It's very important, I think, at least.
Seasonal, bro. As long as you do what I told you, like, my nigga, you see me, I got the job, because so you know it works the way I'm telling you. You don't even need to be a seasonal.
One more time. And I chopped it up because I don't want to play everything, and I also don't want to play, the voice of the individual.
Seasonal, bro. As long as you do what I told you, like, my nigga, you see me, I got the job, because so you know it works the way I'm telling you. You don't even need to be a seasonal.
He's basically saying you don't need to be a seasonal. As long as you do what I say, it works. Trust me. And he's talking about paying contributions to different campaigns and different fundraising events, writing checks for people that are not even going to be there. But the more checks you could write one for yourself, write one for your wife, write one for your brother. Just bring it. They don't have to be there. And when they see that, that's your reference. When you put in your application, they're going to look at your name and they're going to see the checks that you wrote. And basically, the better your reference means that you've donated more. Donating more gives you better references. And so I want to play another piece. And I'm sorry that I chopped it up like this, but I'm trying to, protect the guy's voice.
Go to a campaign or you buy a plate. What you do is you go to a campaign or you buy a plate for an event. Either you go to the event or you buy the plate for the event. That's the first step you do, is to get your name out there that, hey, listen, I'm here. I want to be a part of this. I want to donate to you guys. I want to be at your events. That's the best way to do it without having to knock on doors and shit.
So if you don't want to knock on doors and you donate at different events. The more you donate, the better your chances are. And you can even bypass seasonal. So the people that get stuck in season are the guys maybe that can't come up with the checks. Maybe don't want to knock on as many doors. I spoke to a journalist not too long ago. Journalist from a major publication, looking to see if there is a connection between the workforce and campaigning. Is, elected officials using the city's workforce for political benefit? Basically, what the guy's saying there is you could either donate or you can go and knock on doors. And if you do a great job, you will get a job with the city of Yonkers. I also spoke to other individuals who told me that the jobs are split 50-50. The mayor gets 50% of the job he chooses, 50% of the, he gets to choose 50% of the positions. And so he has that control, that power. And many times during elections, and I'm sure some of you guys will start to, think about this if you didn't already, people tend to get fired for one reason or another. Why? They're looking to free up spaces to put other people in that are currently helping them out with that election. And so if you're someone messing up and you were hooked up, they're going to use that reason to get you out because they got to put John Doe now. He was helping out in the current election, or she. And that's how it works here in the city of Yonkers. Doesn't matter if you want to be politically involved or not. You have to be if you want a job. I'm going to play that audio one more time.
You do go to a campaign. What you do is you go to a campaign or you buy a plate for an event. Either you go to the event or you buy the plate for the event. That's the first step you do, is to get your name out there that, hey, listen, I'm here. I want to be a part of this. I want to donate to you guys. I want to be at your events. That's the best way to do it without having to knock on doors and shit. What you do is you go to a campaign or you buy a plate for an event. Either you go to the event or you buy the plate for the event. That's the first step you do, is to get your name out there that, hey, listen, I'm here. I want to be a part of this. I want to donate to you guys. I want to be at your events. That's the best way to do it without having to knock on doors and shit.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. That is your Monday morning edition. Today is November 28, 2022. Please, folks, continue to give me the information. I appreciate it. Continue to send me the video, the audio. Again, we are not here to blast any one individuals, but we are here to create change in the city of Yonkers. This is not personal. This is about the people wanting change. And it's time that we demand it. And it's time that we come out and vote. We speak up. Enough is enough. I'm Freddie Vasquez again. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you very much. And guys, please don't take the city vehicles during work hours to go get haircuts. The public is watching. The people are watching. They're going to send that stuff to Freddie Vasquez, and I have it. But I don't want to put you guys on blast. I'm just going to say this. Whoever went to get a haircut in the city vehicle, City of Yonkers truck, sat in the barber chairs, people are watching. So just be easy, guys. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Thank you, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. I'm talking about his allegations of assault. They're nonsensical. It was a setup or wronged by elected officials in some other way, which is very possible in the city. Then I'm with him. But he was not assaulted, so he needs to back off the cops. If he has video proving otherwise, then he needs to put it up or shut up. I think, Anthony, we all have to wait, right? We all have to wait, including you, even with your opinion. I get it. I understand where you're coming from, as a former police officer. And, I'm going to always say with what I, the truth, what I think anyway. So I get it. There's a lot of emotions involved with this. I don't want to negate his feelings. I don't want to invalidate what he's saying until we all actually see what actually happened or know for a fact what actually happened. And at that point, now you mentioned something about it being staged in a setup, or maybe they utilized him, to create something for them to disrupt or distract. Maybe, I don't know. But let's see what happens. The man was upset. He was emotional. And so I want to make sure that I'm fair to that, because I know what it's like to be on the end of the one being attacked and terrorized by City of Yonkers. And so we have to, get all the facts. But I did see a man crying there. I did see a man emotional there. We don't know what happened in the hallway. So I want to give him the benefit of doubt until I see otherwise. But I understand where you're coming from. And you have points, we got to see also, we can't jump to conclusion also and say that the police officers actually did what he's saying they did until we see that, right? We see that for a fact. But I do see he was emotional. Police have not spoken out about it. No one else besides him. So, this is how, I'm going to go with it. But anyway, folks, thank you for joining me. I got to get to my office. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of the day. I'm up out of here. It's Basement Politics. Grazie. I will be back on this evening. Join me. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is a podcast. Check out the old podcast. Catch up. This is what I do. We bring transparency to the city of Yonkers, the residents, in terms of politics. I do it in a way that's unbiased, untainted, and unfiltered. I give it to you raw. My style can sometimes be abrasive. My wife has asked me to calm it down, and I've tried. But sometimes I just have to be me, right? So excuse me. I mean no disrespect, no harm, no offense to anyone, and I'm always up for conversation. Excuse me. I'm getting sick. Conversation. So please reach out to me. politicwithfred@gmail.com. That's politicwithfred@gmail.com. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and we, like mature adults, can speak about it, and I will always be willing to correct myself. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Peace out. Love, peace, and soul. Like my man Romario likes to say, brother.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to want a chicken.
By the
So
way, I
thank
put
you.
that video out. I put the video out, the actual video, without it being edited, on my Facebook page, where she said that was at the Indian flag raising in front of City Hall, where she went up and said,
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to want a chicken. So thank you.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
no!